Hi, students. This is Trish. I'm your professor for Superstition Review, both the training and the internship, and I'm taping a short lecture to introduce you to the course for fall semester 2023. I'm going to share my screen with you. And the first thing that I want to do is tell you a little bit about me. I look forward to getting to know all of you. I know many of you very well from either one or two semesters together. So just a little bit about me. I'm entering my 31st year of teaching at ASU. I've done 295 courses over that course of time. So I love what I do. I love working with you, and I really enjoy editing the magazine as well. I'm originally from Cincinnati, and I still have family in Cincinnati, and I also have family in Minnesota. My mom was born in Minneapolis, and so I have family there and up in the lakes areas. I am trained as a poet and as a prose writer, and that's kind of one of the reasons I founded Superstition Review in 2008. I have always worked with literary magazines all the way back to when I was in high school, and I've always had an interest in publishing. So I decided to create Superstition Review to give students an opportunity to work on a literary magazine before they graduate. My full-time job at ASU is as the editor of Superstition Review, and I consider myself a mentor to the students who run the magazine. I also do kind of part-time teaching for ASU Online. I teach travel writing, and I do that every summer, and I've taught that class, I think, 44 times now. I used to teach it 6 times a year. I now teach it only about 2 times a year, but I really enjoy traveling, so it's always fun to teach travel writing. Speaking of traveling, I've been to 50 countries. We haven't traveled abroad as much since COVID. During COVID, we built out a Vansit or a transit van that we call Vansit, and we have traveled all over the country in it. In fact, I was just doing the math the other day, and we've taken our dog in the van to 33 states. So we've really enjoyed traveling around in our van. I also like hiking and swimming and biking. I love yoga. I have a daily practice that I like to do myself, but I also like to go to classes. I love lifting weights. I love reading, watching movies, listening to music. I love camping. I also have been really into stand-up paddleboarding, and I also love to cook. So I look forward to getting to know all of you as well. That's just a little bit about me. So let's talk about Superstition Review. So we're interesting. We're housed in the College of Integrative Sciences and Arts, and that's a college that is on all 4 campuses. I used to teach on Tempe campus. I'm now on Polytechnic campus. So we are named, because I'm at Polytechnic, we're named after the Superstition Mountains. They're just north of ASU Poly. If you haven't hiked in the Superstitions before, I do hope you get an opportunity to do that. And each semester we have interns who do all the work of the magazine. So they have roles such as fiction editor, poetry editor, all of the sections. We have bloggers, advertisers, web designers, social networkers, and student editors in chief, etc. You'll get to learn all about those trainees, interns. You'll get to enjoy your role this semester. I've had about 500 student interns over the 30 semesters. It's now 32, or entering this 32nd semester of Superstition Review. And the past interns have gone on to do amazing things. A lot of law school folks, MFA programs, PhD programs, Fulbright scholarships, jobs and internships with lots of different companies, Penguin, Boeing, with the White House, with Intel. So I always love to keep in touch with my past interns. So each issue of the magazine includes about 5 artists, 5 short stories, 5 interviews, 5 essays, and about 10 poets. And for each issue, we receive about 1,000 submissions. We look at submissions only in August, or we collect them only in August and January. And then we really review them in September and February. So we get the most submissions in poetry, then fiction, then nonfiction, the fewest in art. So I want to show you the magazine itself. So this is what the magazine looks like. You'll see that we have 31 issues. We'll be working on issue 32. We do have a page where you can see all of our past staff. So your student editor information will be here after the end of the semester. I also love looking at the magazine based on the archives, because this way you can see everybody that we've published in all of the issues. So if you have a particular interest in anyone, you can click on their page and look at their work. So for instance, Heidi Nielsen is a past intern who went on to law school and then took a job in Washington, D.C., but she's also an artist, so a very well-rounded person, and I'm so happy we're still in touch. Now, we also have a blog, and on the blog, we publish more often. That's one of the reasons we run the blog, is that we do short essays and also information about events and prizes coming up. So we try to publish about 3 times a week on the blog, and that keeps our interest going, because we do only publish an issue once a semester. By publishing on the blog, we get a lot more interest and relevancy, and we get to push to social networks and things like that. So the next thing that I want to talk about is that, okay, so we have 2 sections in one Canvas course shell. ENG 394 is the training, and this is the trainees are people who have not done training before and have not worked on the magazine before. And the trainees will do 14 projects over the course of 14 weeks. Now, this is a 300 level English class, so you should expect to spend about 3 hours per credit hour, so about 9 hours a week on these projects. And 10 of them correspond with the jobs that are available at the magazine. But then we also have projects that help you become familiar with the really the world of literary magazines. So you'll do a literary magazine project, a literary audience project, and then a job market project as well. The very last project of the semester is a resume project, and that's going to be completed by both interns and trainees. And that is a project that asks you to update your resume in LinkedIn. So it's a very practical project. So if I say trainee, that means I'm addressing people in ENG 394. If I'm saying intern, I'm addressing people in ENG 484. And all of you will be linked with someone, a 394 and a 484, for mentoring assignments. And I'll talk about that in just a second. The interns are going to complete about 10 hours of work a week. It's 10 hours because F484 across ASU is an internship, and that requires 150 hours of work. So if you're doing an external internship, then you would be required to work 10 hours a week. And so that's why we're requesting 10 hours a week for the internship with Superstition Review. And you'll get tasks to do every week. And in the beginning of the semester, we'll do a lot of meetings. But most of the communication between me and the interns will be done with a status report. So you'll post a status report letting me know what you've accomplished and what you'll be working on next. So in the Canvas course shell, you'll see those as quizzes. That's how I collect the status reports from interns. So as I mentioned, interns are paired with incoming trainees, and we're going to have mentoring assignments. I used to use Yellow Dig, I'm going to have it in a discussion board this semester because there were some changes to Yellow Dig that didn't make any sense to me. So I'm going to do them in a discussion board on Canvas instead. You're very familiar with those anyway. So we'll have weekly mentoring activities, and those will be organized and posted by our student editor-in-chief, who is Rich Duhamel. And so Rich will be leading us this semester and helping guide us to get to know each other really well and to have very strong relationships. Any updates about mentoring will appear in Rich's weekly newsletter. Those are delivered Thursday, and they're delivered from superstitionreview@gmail.com. So just make sure to check for them in your ASU email inbox. And finally, I do want to give you a Canvas course shell tour. I want to make sure, first of all, that you do review your notifications and make sure you're getting notifications, emails when I post announcements. I do post a lot of announcements, and I expect you to keep up with those. The way I organize the course shell is very streamlined because from teaching all online since 2009, I just like it to be very straightforward. I do have a link where you can always schedule a meeting with me. I have training materials for the interns. I have training videos for fall 2023. If you need anything from me, you can inbox me. Some of the interns will have my phone number and will text me for deadline-driven items. But for the most part, I set pretty good boundaries on my time, and I expect you to do the same. So if we're inboxing each other, I'm going to check that during working hours, not during sleeping hours or during free time. So we do have a mentoring discussion board. Here we have all the trainee projects and the intern reports. Something I would recommend to you, we are going to be using the Gmail Google Calendar, the whole Google suite of products. So one of the things that you can do in Canvas that's really nice is you can you can download the calendar feed into your personal calendar so that all of those due dates show up. So that's one of the first things that I recommend that you do. And basically you just copy this link, and there's a place for you to add new calendars in Google Calendar. So pretty straightforward. You're going to come over here and add a calendar from a URL, and that'll add all of your Canvas due dates into your Gmail. And that's really nice because then you can set your own kinds of notifications. You can add them to whatever other class calendars you have in there also. So the only other thing that I want to show you in our Canvas course shell is I do have the syllabus here. The trainee syllabus, you can click through. The intern syllabus, you can click through. Those are legally binding contracts, so make sure you read them very closely. I have the SR calendar here, so as soon as we get meetings scheduled, you will see them there. And then I also have the ASU student academic calendar just for your benefit here, with things like late registration fees, things like that. And then the due dates will show up under the course summary. And then as for your grade area, I do grade swiftly, so that should be a running tally of your grade. You can always look there and get your current score. So I really look forward to working with you this fall, and I think we'll have a great time together. I hope we have a lot of fun. Thanks so much.